What is the best advice I can provide B plus students in high school with big, lofty college admissions goals? That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout every stage of the college admissions process at collegemeister.com. So I get this question quite a bit from students when I work with them one-on-one, and they really have amazing goals. They want to go to Harvard or Dartmouth, or they want to study electrical engineering at this top-ranked engineering school, whatever it might be. And I take a look at what they performed like so far in high school. Maybe they're in 10th grade or 11th grade, and I see basically they're a B plus student, maybe a 3.3 type student, unweighted. And they, maybe have a smattering of A's, smattering of B's. They're averaging out somewhere in between. And in a situation like this, a lot of times their parents and them have questions about what extracurricular activities should I be doing to get into this top-ranked school or this highly selective school. What should my testing calendar be in terms of the SAT or ACT? Should he submit his scores? Should he hide his scores? The parents often will ask and wonder, is it the right combination of extracurricular activities that he's currently pursuing? And the fact of the matter is, all those questions are interesting questions to ask, and I do answer those questions, but I work very hard to put everything in perspective. If you are a B plus student in a world in which the high school transcript is the most important foundational piece of your college application, don't get distracted from the high school transcript. Start there. If you are a B plus student, I often say B's are not bad. They are not bad. B does not mean bad. A lot of students are worried that, B, it's the end of the world. They got a B. B's are bad. A's are good. It's not quite that simple. B's are obviously the second best type of grade you can get other than A's, right? They're, right below A. There's C's and D's and F's right below those. So it's not like B is bad. It shows that you're getting a lot of the material, but you're not getting awesome amounts of the material, or you're not, for some reason, putting out on tests or assessments the effort, the attention to detail necessary to get more A's than B's. And therefore, you are getting a B plus average. You need to address the elephant in the room, which is, why are you a B plus student and you are not an A minus or an A student? Before you really worry too much about the exactly perfect right combination of extracurricular activities or the exact testing calendar that's right for you in terms of ACT or SAT or both, while all of those things are important and could definitely act as sort of a cherry on top of your ice cream sundae that is your college application eventually that you submit to colleges and universities, at this point, as a B plus student, you would be building this sundae, let's say this ice cream sundae, on a very weak foundation. You don't want the ice cream cone that you are building your ice cream sundae on top of or it's not really a sundae, or the glass container or whatever, to have a crack in it. Or wherever you're building your ice cream sundae, if you don't want that to be dirty. That's whatever you're putting your ice cream in. You don't want it to have a dirty dish or a dirty bowl that you're putting the ice cream in. That's basically what's happening when you are a B plus student with lofty or big goals. If your goals are to get into an Ivy League level school selectivity wise, and again, I don't necessarily think that is a very smart goal. I think you have to do better research. For instance, I have all these guys all the time interested in business. And then when it comes down to having them tell me what college they want to go to, they say all the Ivy League schools. And I have to tell them, like, only a couple of those have real strong undergraduate business programs. And they're like, oh, well, I do want to study business, but depending on the student, it might make sense. But in most cases, it doesn't. If you want to have a diversity of business programming, you actually want to have a diversity of schools on your list. You shouldn't just be Ivy or bust. But this is true of sort of any highly selective college or university. They're going to look at your transcript first. And if they don't feel like you've mastered the art of being a strong student with different types of teachers throughout your high school career, they have every reason to pull back and deny, frankly, your application. Pull back from and deny your application because you have not mastered the art of being a strong student. The day in, day out marathon of being a strong student in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and the first quarter of the semester of 12th grade tells the tale. And if you are a B plus student on average, by the time you apply to college, you've already sealed your fate to the most selective colleges and universities 99 times out of 100. Again, there are exceptions, to a recruitable athlete or legacy student or a real unicorn of a student in terms of something that they have pursued that's just extremely exceptional. But you should not assume you are going to be the 1 out of 100 that is going to be the unicorn. For the vast majority of students, when you're a B plus student, you're done at the most selective colleges and universities in the United States. You're not getting in as a first year student. All right, so you need to learn in high school how to be an A minus student, how to be an A plus student, how to be an A student, depending on the rigor of your school. All of those are much better options than being a B plus student, right? So how do you do this? Well, in most cases these days, I am finding the students I work with who are B plus students are B plus students because of complete lack of focus. Complete lack of focus, not because they have any differentiated learning pattern or learning difference. It's because they simply have never learned the skill of focusing, committing to a task, and completing it. It's that simple. In many cases, they've just not exercised that part of their brain. And so it's a matter of focus. It's a matter of developing habits. It's a matter of developing more proactivity in the classroom and when you get home each afternoon or evening, to go over your notes, to take strong notes in class, to go to the teacher after class or before class for extra help or ask follow-up questions, engage more in class, study with your peers, do flashcards, do a combination of things that could just move you up a few points. Again, you're a B plus student in this scenario. It shouldn't be so hard to go from an 89 average to a 93 average. And that is often the gulf that you need to traverse in order to go from an B plus student to an A, straight A student, forget even A minus, an A student. Many schools start at 93. So as a result, it's only a matter of a little changes every day. Little changes every day. So what's one thing I would suggest to all of my students? 15 minutes per night per subject. You should be studying. Many students have never studied consistently in high school. They may be very smart, but they've never actually built consistent studying into their schedule. And so even if you don't have a test in a particular subject until the end of next week, and it's Tuesday of the week before, you should be devoting 15 minutes per night per subject to every subject to review what you've done in the recent days, to look ahead, read ahead if you feel like you've mastered everything so far, to go back over content to make sure you really understand how to do that type of math problem. Depending on the class, you got to review different types of content, right? But no matter what, you have to set the expectation at home that you're going to be spending 15 minutes per subject per night reviewing material, asking yourself questions about the notes you took earlier that day or last week so that you remain fresh, that you remain sharp in that particular subject. That one change of actually developing study skills, reviewing your notes, taking new notes, rewriting your notes, going online and doing more research into a particular unit you're on, all of those things can really make the biggest difference right there. But if you feel like that isn't still not enough, then you have to ask yourself, do you have space at home to actually study and focus? Maybe you're studying in the wrong room in your house. Maybe you are studying too late because you're doing too many things that are wasteful too early in the afternoon when you get home. Maybe you need to, like I said, take advantage of a teacher's office hours or raise your hand more in class or participate more in class to challenge your assumptions about what you really do know or what you really don't know. And as the test approaches or as a paper is about to be due, you need to clarify the expectations of how you are being graded. Not all schools give rubrics about how you're being graded. Ask the teacher, clarify what is your grade composed of so that you fully understand, going in eyes wide open, about how your grade is going to be compiled. How is it going to be assessed? How are you going to be assessed on this paper or this project or this test or this quiz? All of that really helps. Many schools will have syllabi or syllabuses per class, a syllabus, where the teacher will not only put all the homework or assignments, but also clarify for you how you are being graded, or he or she will do that. If they are not doing that, then ask. And don't ask in a manner that looks like all you care about is the grade. Go to the teacher and say, I realize I'm not doing as well in this class as I could be. Don't mention necessarily the grade, but simply say, I realize that I am not doing as well in this class as I could be. I'd like to learn more. Do you have any suggestions about how I could improve? You see my performance every day. What do you think? Ask for those points of feedback, not just during the times of the semester or the quarter or the trimester when the teacher is contractually required to provide it, but ask for those touch points with the teacher as much as you possibly can. Most teachers would really love to hear a student want to do better in his or her class. So just taking the step of actually asking often really puts you in a good light with the teacher. Now, if you ask like, oh, Mr. Smith, I'm getting a B plus, that sucks. I want to get an A. What do I need to do? That's not going to look as good. You're going to sound self-serving. Whereas if you go to the teacher earnestly and say, I realize I'm not getting as much out of this class as I could be or should be. I'd like to perform better. Having taught for 1 year or 10 years or 20 years in the subject, what do you think I could be doing better in order to take it to the next level? And frame it like that, as opposed to being all focused on the grade. And again, I think a teacher will engage with you in a conversation about that. So again, it's a combination of not just asking proactive questions in class or after or before class, engaging with your peers more to learn their study skills or how they perform well. Obviously, the peers that are actually doing well, don't associate as much with the students who are doing poorly because they're going to drag you down, or ask them for feedback because they clearly have no feedback to provide that would help you if you're a B plus student already. And then also changing your habits and your schedule when you get home. These slight tweaks could make all the difference. I can't tell you how many students will devote 2 hours a night to video games or going on their favorite website or watching their favorite sports teams, and they don't understand why they're getting B pluses. Time is really important. The amount of time you devote to something. So this is not a magic trick where I'm saying I'm going to give you a magic wand and tomorrow you're going to be an A plus student or an A student. But if you can start to focus your time better on the things that are the true inputs to your grade, you are going to start getting better grades. And obviously, the sooner you watch this video, the better for you in high school. But even if you find yourself as an 11th grader today when you're watching this video, or even a 12th grader, and you have had less than perfect grades throughout your entire high school career, it is not too late to learn how to be the best student you can be. And even if you end up not getting to the most selective colleges or universities on your list because of blemishes or imperfections on your overall high school transcript to date, you're going to be a better student in college as a result of taking action now as a high school student to learn and develop into a better student now, so that once you do spread your wings and fly as an independent student living away potentially from home in college, you're going to be much more likely to raise the level of play that you perform at every day and be an independent, self-confident A student when you get to college. So it's going to pay dividends one way or the other, and it's a matter of how soon in high school you can actually make this trajectory altering switch that will determine how much it will or won't impact your ability to get into the most selective colleges on your list. But it's definitely an act worth taking, because if you take it, you're going to open up so many more options. I can't tell you how many colleges in the United States base their admissions decision almost primarily, if not entirely, off of one's academic profile, which is basically your high school transcript. So if you can just switch that to be awesome, as opposed to worrying about an awesome test score and an awesome or differentiated or original extracurricular resume, you're going to be doing yourself a huge service to turn your B plus student persona into an A, hopefully student persona. That's going to open up many more college options, potentially many more scholarship options. Obviously, again, I'm not saying that you can be a straight A student and get into Ivy League schools on your own, because you can't. You also need to do the other things as well, but you can't do those other things awesome and have your grades be B plus and get into those schools. So you might as well start at the foundation. And the foundation is your high school transcript, the rigor of your courses and the letters you get in those courses, the grades you get in those courses. Learn how to be a great student in standard classes so you can start to be a great student in rigorous classes. If you're already in rigorous classes and you're a B plus student, learn how to be an A student in rigorous classes. So you need to keep working every day to be a better version of yourself academically. And if you take that approach throughout your entire high school career, you're going to have more impressive college options or a more greater diversity of college options at the end of this process. And that's simply what I want for you, regardless of the exact name of the school you get into. I want you to have a lot of options. All right. So again, my name is Craig Meister. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe to my channel, because I have videos coming out as much as I can pump them out. This time of year, it's January, I have a little bit more time than I have other times of year to upload these videos. when I'm working with students vigorously on their applications or giving them feedback. So it depends on the time of year, how many videos I put out. But I also have a back catalog of videos, so I encourage you to watch those at youtube.com/collegemeister. Also, if you do want to work with me one-on-one, go to my website, collegemeister.com. Again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.